is Bim Gander, and the new president of EAC as of January or May last year. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to the 2012 EAC convention, very ably put on by Nick Campetro and John Bailey. I think one of the things we always like to do at the kickoff, which is the reception, is to recognize the members of the club who have attended a convention for the very first time. And those of us who've been to one or more conventions to go out of our ways to make those new members feel welcome and to encourage them to participate in everything that EAC has to offer. And so anybody who is coming to an EAC convention for the very first time, would you please stand and be recognized? That's terrific. That's a great turnout. We really welcome you. I'm very pleased to see you here and have you here to join us. At the general membership meeting on Sunday, one of the things that we always do is we always introduce ourselves and talk about where we're from and what our collecting interests are. And so I would encourage you to join us on Sunday morning for that general meeting. You'll hear the results of the board meeting and any other news that might be newsworthy at that point in time. And you'll be asked just to say a few words about yourself, so I would just warn you that that's coming up on Sunday morning. That's really all I have right now. There's no particular thing that I need to say to you at this point until after their board meeting and the meeting that we have with the general membership on Sunday. So I'd like to ask Nick to come up and say a few words about this year's convention. And so Nick, wherever you may be. And John. John, would you come up too, please?
Wow, thanks everybody for coming. What a great turnout. Without you guys, there wouldn't even be a EAC convention. We want to thank you for coming. Sure has been a lot of work. You learn a lot about people when you do a show like this. Some of it not fit for print. And thanks again. It has been fun.
When we started this, there was 3 of us, and I just want to say, I kind of missed the gentleman we lost, Ron, and the name tags that the dealers had, Ron made for us. So, kind of in his honor, we did that. So, I just like to maybe take a moment of silence for Ron. He was really a close friend, a great guy, and all you know him, just remember with that big magnifying glass looking down, his famous words are that pretty points. So just a moment of silence, please, for Ron. Thank you. Also, tomorrow night, in the next couple of days, we have the vans available. What we did was we rented vans to take people around the area. Buffalo isn't really as bad as it sounds. Unfortunately, the tour today went a little too long. I apologize. But there's all kinds of things. I have 2 drivers in the back corner. They can't drink, but they can drive. So, and they do know where to go. So tomorrow, it's something, like I said, instead of them sitting here, they're getting paid. So please, and especially the ladies. That was the one thing Chuck said when I took over the convention. Please keep the lady busy. So far I haven't no complaints from ladies other than the floor was kind of cold today, they said, so I just put the heat up a little bit. Well, no, I'm kidding. Enjoy yourselves and listen, before anybody complains, just come and see John and I would try to make things work. Okay, that's all, it's simple. It just kind of stinks when you hear stuff like that. Nothing's perfect. That's what Chris told me, because yesterday I was going crazy. He says, nothing's perfect. You've done the best that you can. Expect the worst. And so far, I just like to say thank you. Everything's gone real good, and I did cover all the tables on the boards right now. Okay, so they're all covered. I forgot to do that, so I'm gonna go for it. Thanks, have a great night, and I guess that's it.
Okay, next I'd like to ask Chuck Heck to come up. As you all know, we've had some special events with the local historical society, and Chuck would like to say a few words about how that transpired and who the people who are responsible for that terrific event. Here's Chuck.
Thank you, Bim. Scott Barrett, where are you? This was a unbelievable start to the convention. It started with the Buffalo Erie County Historical Society and them opening up their collection for us to view. I had nothing to do with it, so Scott, take it over.
Many years ago, I picked up the noise census and found that there was a 93 S12 that had not been photographed. And it has a history here in Buffalo. And by the way, I'm from Western New York. I'm really glad to be back here, and I hope all of you have a super time here in Buffalo and Erie County and all of Western New York. It's a great place to be, and we're glad you're here. But in any event, there was a 93 S12 at the Buffalo Erie County Historical Society, then known as the Buffalo Historical Society, that had not been photographed. We knew that it was a 10-7 coin, must be a great coin, but hadn't been photographed. And every time I get back to Buffalo regularly for business, every time I get back, I say, I'm going to go see that coin someday. And a few years ago, I tried to on a Saturday afternoon, and they were closed because of a snowstorm. And so, year and a half ago, I initiated contact with Walt Mayer, the curator of the collection at the Historical Society. Walt, if you wouldn't mind standing so everybody can see Walt Mayer. And a big hand for Walt. He was so gracious to invite all of us to see the coins last night. We saw some spectacular coins, and I understand from Chuck that they had a little earlier gathering on Tuesday evening where you guys saw some other stuff as well. These coins go back to 1905. They were unknown to the early American copper community until this week. And I'm glad to have been part of it, and Chuck and Nick Gampietro and John Bailey, the three of them were instrumental in getting this put together, and we're just delighted that we could see these coins and share them with all of you here. Thanks for coming. Thanks, Chuck.
Thank you, Scott. It was wonderful. Scott opened up the door. Nick didn't even take the ball to run with it. He tried to hit the bleachers. He hit a grand slam because Nick is the one who really negotiated with Walter and got us to see these really great coins. Now, remember we asked if any of the boys, the boys in 94 were going over there last night. Anybody could have gone. All you had to do was just sign up with me, as you read in Pennywise. So anybody was allowed to go. Just sign up and go. I think we had a wonderful time. I do want to mention that Walter Mayer has brought his lovely wife Diane with him, and he said to me that much of the credit goes to her because she lets him come out to play with the boys. So Diane, just a little bow, please. Thank you for coming. Walter, thank you for being here. And now on a really special note, when we were putting the convention together, and I say we all do that third man, Ron Janowski, he said, geez, Chuck, I'm so pleased to be picked to be on that committee. He said, yeah, Ron, we had 157 people apply for the job. And you three were selected by the committee. We have a committee, right? He said, are you kidding? You're the only fools that said you would do it. Well, Ron passed away a year ago, but we have somebody very special. His wife is here. She's still a member. Kay Janowski. Kay, would you please stand up and let people say hello? Ron would trek all the way down from the cold regions of New York to wonderful Midtown Manhattan, attend EAC meetings back in the 70s. Sometimes he'd drag his wife kicking and screaming like I do mine. Sometimes she would win and she wouldn't come down. But they were always noticeable figures, always very sharing. And that was just the way Ron is. If you think he was a cool guy, you gotta meet his wife. She's even cooler, if you can believe it. Thank you, Kate.
Okay, that's the extent of our formality. I would invite you to eat, drink, and be merry. Enjoy.